Theodore. He's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. Pushing and a pulling in the great big harbor, in the great big world is so much fun. So many brand new things to discover. Waking with the sun, gotta get the job done. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Bodak, Hank and George, and the harbor master too.
No, hello. Oh, I've got the hiccups, and I'm trying to stamp these letters here. Oh, my. Holding my breath didn't work. So my friend Rodney said if I held my breath, my hiccups would go away. Maybe if I drank this glass of water here, upside down. Here. Oh, don't worry. I've got a whole list of things to try to get rid of the hiccups. Here. It seems that everybody's got their own special trick to get rid of the hiccups. But the best trick I know is what Hank did. Let me tell you all about it. It was a very busy morning in the big harbor. Theodore, George, and Hank were moving a ship. George was the tug in charge. "Push a little harder on your side, Hank," George said. "Pushing harder," Hank called out. "Prepare to turn," George announced. Each tugboat took a turn answering George so that George would know they had heard him. "Preparing to turn," Theodore answered. "Preparing to hiccup." Hank hiccuped so hard that he bumped right into the big ship. "Sorry," he said. "I mean, preparing to hiccup." Hank had to laugh. Hiccup! He didn't do anything to make the hiccups happen. They just popped right up all by themselves. Hiccup! "Prepare to dock," said George, trying not to laugh too. After all, he was the tug in charge. "Preparing to dock," called Theodore. "Preparing to hiccup!" hiccuped Hank, and he bumped right into the ship. A little giggle snuck out before he had a chance to stop it. "Please stop bumping into me, Hank," said the ship. "Sorry," said Hank. "Hank," called George, "I think Theodore and I can finish the job without you." "Hiccup," said Hank, surprised. Well, without Hank's hiccups, George and Theodore quickly moved the ship to her place at the dock. Hank was sad about having to leave the job. He liked working with his friends. Hiccup! After Theodore had finished docking the ship, he sailed over to Hank. "Hank," Theodore called out, "I know a way to get rid of hiccups." "You do?" said Hank. He slowed and waited for his friend. "Yes, hold your breath while I count to 100, commanded Theodore. "Oh, okay," Hank said. He took a big breath and held it. 1, 2, 3, 4, counted Theodore. Theodore didn't count high numbers very well, and he started to get a bit mixed up. 6, 16, 70, 17, 9. Hank was having a hard time holding his breath. Finally, Theodore noticed his friend, and he finished quickly. 99, 100. Gasped Hank. Hiccup! "Theodore, I think the hiccups are still here." Hiccup! "I have to get back to work," said Theodore. "I hope your hiccups go away soon. It's a very busy day, and we need your help." Hank watched Theodore float off to his next job. Hiccup! "I hope my hiccups do go away soon," he said to himself. Hank really wanted to get back to work and help his friends. Hiccup! Hank decided to ask Donald Duck how to get rid of his hiccups. "What should I do, Donald?" he said. Hiccup! "Should I ask Rebecca if she knows how to get rid of hiccups?" "Uh-huh," said Donald. Well, said Hank, thinking, Rebecca knows about the ocean, but she probably doesn't know about hiccups. Do you think I should ask Foduck? Uh-huh, said Donald. You see, uh-huh is all Donald ever says. Well, said Hank, Foduck knows about safety, but maybe he doesn't know about hiccups. Do you think I should ask Bedford Bowie? Uh-huh, said Donald. You're right, shouted Hank. Thanks, Donald. You've been a really big help. Hiccup! Hank hiccuped toward Bedford Bowie. Hiccup! George rumbled up. I know a way to stop hiccups, announced George. Go backwards, and they'll go away. Well, that sounded like it might work. Hank putted backward. It's working, he said. Hiccup! Hank hiccuped right into Fundy, the fishing trawler, who was just coming into the harbor. Oh, cried Hank. I'm sorry, Fundy. I'm trying to get rid of my hiccups, explained Hank. The watched fishing line never catches the cod, said Fundy in a very wobbly voice. Fundy always said strange things. The tugs didn't see that Fundy's fishing net was falling right off his deck from all the wobbling. Hank floated along, hiccuping as he went. It seemed that he'd had the hiccups for a very long time. And the more he tried to get rid of them, the worse they got. What if they never go away, he thought to himself. I'll never be able to help anyone ever again. Hiccup! He hiccuped the biggest hiccup yet. It was so big it made him spin right into the fairy twins. We know how, said Philip, one of the fairy twins. To stop the hiccups, said Fillmore, the other twin. You see, the fairy twins always finish each other's sentences. You have to go in a circle, Philip said. For a really long time, finished Fillmore. Well, by now, Hank was willing to try anything. He started slowly, but soon he moved faster and faster. Wait a minute, Hank called. I think they're gone. He stopped. He smiled. Then, hiccup! Came a huge hiccup. Oh, said Philip. Well, finished Fillmore. And the two twins sailed off again. Hank continued on towards the great ocean dock. Hiccup! Suddenly something big and noisy and scary floated out right in front of him, spraying water, and it was Foduck. He was spraying his fire hose and blowing his emergency whistle. Did it work? Asked Foduck. Did I scare away your hiccups? Hiccup, said Hank. But thanks, hiccup, for trying. Well, I better get back to work, called Foduck. I certainly hope your hiccups go away soon. We really need your help today. I've tried everything to get rid of these hiccups, Hank thought, and nothing works. Hiccup. I guess I'll have them for the rest of my life. Hiccup. Hank floated sadly home to the great ocean dock. Hiccup. As he tried to turn to his place, he hiccuped a great hiccup that splashed Donald Dock. Oh, sorry, Donald, Hank said. Uh-huh, said Donald. The dispatcher turned toward Hank. Hank, he said, Fundy the fishing boat has dropped his drift net in the harbor. He has? Hiccuped Hank. Yes, continued the dispatcher. Theodore and Emily are bringing in a big ship, but the net is blocking the way. It is? Hiccuped Hank. The net must be moved, said the dispatcher. Please take Bobby Barge at once. Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir, Hank stammered. I mean, I got the hiccups. Hank, you're the only tug who is not working today, said the dispatcher. You must move the net, or the ship will be caught in it. But, Hank hiccuped. He wanted to help. He really did. But he had such bad hiccups. I know you can do it, the dispatcher said. You must. It's up to me to save the ship. I must save the ship, Hank thought as he turned in a tight circle. Bobby Barge was waiting for Hank when he arrived. Hank swung into place to tie his tow rope onto the barge. We have to save the ship, Bobby, shouted Hank. Hank puffed and pulled with all his might, tugging the big barge behind him. Up ahead, they saw Fundy's fishing net. The floats from the big drift net bobbed all across the harbor, blocking the way. Theodore and Emily were pulling the giant container ship closer and closer to Fundy's net. Finally, Emily saw it. Stop! Emily cried to Theodore. There's a big net in our way. Theodore and Emily tried to slow the big ship, but Hank could see that they would never be able to stop it in time. The ship was sure to get tangled in that net. We have to work fast, Bobby, Hank shouted. He pulled Bobby beside the drift net. Emily and Theodore had almost reached the net with the ship. Now, cried Hank. Now, Bobby! Quickly, Bobby Barge lowered his crane and fastened onto the net. And with a mighty heave, he hauled it out of the water. Hang on, Bobby, called Hank. The moment Bobby had the net out of the water, Hank pulled him out of the way. And just in time. The big ship lumbered past the barge and finally came to a stop. Safe. It blasted a deep whistle of thanks. Whew, said the ship. Oh, that was close. You did it, Hank, shouted Theodore, his voice full of pride. I did do it, he cried. I got rid of my hiccups. Everyone smiled at Hank. Hank, said Theodore, I meant you did a great job getting that net out of the way. Now it was Hank's turn to laugh. Well, I was thinking so hard about the net, he smiled, that I forgot I even had hiccups. Just then, Funday the fishing trawler appeared. So that's where I left my net, he said. All's well that ends well. I'm certainly glad those hiccups have ended, grinned Hank. The tugs couldn't agree more. Yes, hiccups can certainly be a bother. Do you remember my hiccups? Well, while I was busy telling you about Hank's hiccups, my hiccups went away all by themselves. Thanks for visiting us here in the Big Harbor. We'll see you all again next time. So long. This is great. Now I can stamp these letters. Oops.
Theodore, he's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. A friendly tugboat too. Oh, Theodore likes to do the things that friendly tugboats do. Pushing and a pulling in the great big harbor, in the great big world is so much fun. So many brand new things to discover. Waking with the sun, gotta get the job done. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Oda, Hank and George and the harbor master too.